If a doctor wants to implant a device into your body, you can be confident the government has approved the device for that use, right? Wrong. But if the untested device causes problems for thousands of people, you can at least be sure the government will step in and take action, right? Wrong again. Not on your side, investigator Valerie Cavazos shows us how one controversial implant is connected to misery for thousands of women. We must warn you, some of the video we will show you is graphic and it may be inappropriate for young viewers.
The products seem harmless enough. Mesh devices used to treat pelvic organ prolapse, a common problem women experience after childbirth, menopause, and weight gain. In fact, more than 350,000 women undergo surgery for this condition in the U.S. each year. But thousands of those women say the thin material is causing them severe pain and emotional distress.
The stories that we hear from these women are very difficult stories to hear.
Attorney Michael McNamara has heard complaints from more than 100 southern Arizona women in a span of only a few months.
Really life-altering, relationship-altering problems. It is the most personal of personal injuries that I've seen in over 20 years of doing personal injury work.
The cases are so personal and private that after weeks of trying to find a woman willing to tell her story on camera, not one would step forward. But a social worker who was behind one of the largest nationwide forums did. She says the scenarios she hears are
horrific, absolutely horrific. It has destroyed lives. It has destroyed marriages. I just spoke to a gal that cannot sit or stand for long periods of time, which is a real problem. They can't work. They're losing their jobs. They're losing their insurance.
To describe what these women are experiencing, imagine the mesh as this cheese grater, brittle and stiff, and this orange as soft tissue. And when the tissue rubs against the mesh, it can be extremely painful. And there's another problem. The tissue can erode, causing more health problems.
The product will erode through the tissue back into the vaginal cavity,
requiring more surgeries to repair the damage, often without success.
The tissue is gone, and the surgeons are in a very difficult situation in terms of revision surgeries. What we see is women coming to see us who have told us they've had surgery after surgery, and then they're left with no real options except live with chronic infections, live with incontinence, live with serious pain.
So why in the world would these mesh products be allowed on the market?
So the first problem was it wasn't properly tested. Basically, the public has been the guinea pig on this.
Because of a loophole in the FDA's 510K approval process. According to a report by the Institute of Medicine, a moderate risk device that is substantially equivalent to any previously 510K cleared device can be cleared for marketing in an effort to facilitate innovation.
There's movements afoot with regard to recalls. There's movements afoot with regard to changing the way the FDA approves these processes.
The FDA has come under heavy criticism, but now it's under pressure by industry experts and lawmakers to change the process. A Massachusetts congressman has launched a bill called the Sound Act that would let the FDA reject a device if it's been shown to be faulty.
So it's not just mesh. We're talking about hip implants, knee implants, etc.
Although many patients have no complications from mesh implants. Between 2008 and 2010, the FDA received more than 1,500 reports of complications with mesh implants, 5 times the rate reported between 2005 and 2007. The FDA responded in July of 2011, ordering new post-market studies with the mesh manufacturers and alerting the medical community of the concerns. We contacted the FDA about those studies.
In September, we had a panel meeting where we had a public forum and asked experts. And then in January of this year, we sent out orders to begin the process to say to companies, these are our exact questions that remain open and they need to be addressed.
The FDA is also considering reclassifying these mesh devices from Class 2 to Class 3, a higher risk category that would require clinical trials before approval. Although the FDA has recommended the 33 manufacturers do extensive testing, for now, the mesh devices will stay on the market.
They're still being heavily marketed, heavily used, heavily recommended.
Valerie Cavazos, KGUN-9 News.
According to a new Consumer Reports poll, Americans support stricter safety standards for medical devices. More than 8 of 10 people said it was more important to prevent safety problems than it is to encourage innovation and avoid delays in getting them to market. For more information on mesh devices, you can go to our website, KGUN9.com. And stay with us. We'll be right back with the weather.